Well, good morning from Sark. It is a beautiful morning. It's warm, it's sunny. Now, the weather prediction is that it's gonna cloud over this afternoon, so I'm not expecting this to be forever, and I'm embracing it while it's here. But in the meantime, I'm gonna go on a little walkie walk. I am kind of weird. Like, I'm not hardcore hiking here. There's not, you can walk from one end to the other, to one side of the island to the other in an hour, so there's not that much to. So I didn't bring my poles, only brought half the amount of water I usually bring. Just didn't bring a lot of the stuff I usually bring because I'm so close to civilization no matter where I go. Hopefully that's a mistake. I just didn't want to carry all that stuff today. So I'm excited to be a day hiker in the more traditional sense. That horse is wearing horse sunglasses. It's like a little veil over his eyes, but like it's mesh, so he can definitely see through it. I think it's to protect him from the flies, which are aggressive. Luggage delivery? I think it goes to there, but that's just chilling. Actually, it might be a pickup for the ferry, but still. Random. It just looks like it was abandoned there. Okay. Well, this is pretty much the walking I've seen on the island. Like, there's the main road, which is like a sandy dirt and like gravelly rock situation. And then it's lined with essentially hedges, and every once in a while you get a break when there's like a house or like access to a field where there's like animals or something. We'll see if that changes when I get more to the southern part of the island into Little Sark, but this area that I'm staying in, this is what it basically looks like. The main way apparently to get around this island is by bike, according to my hosts. People can use their tractors apparently between 6 a.m. and 10 p.m. They're supposed to only use them for work, like moving stuff from one place to another or whatever. But apparently, like, you know, that doesn't always happen. Like, walking home yesterday, I definitely saw one parked outside the pub. So there's that. But the third way, technically, you can get around the island is by horse-drawn carriage. People don't, according to my host, it's like a tourist thing. Like, they take you on tours, or you can hire them to get you from point A to point B. Like, you know, if you're staying overnight and you want to have the carriage take you to your B&B or whatever the case is, you can do that. But there are absolutely no cars on the island, apparently. And the people used to actually like ride around on horses, but he says that's really rare now. That's besides the carriage thing. But people don't use the carriages as like transportation, like locals. Just walking two horses. One's on a lead, one's not. And his dog is following. And he's trying to give voice commands to the horse not on the lead. And the horse is not having it. Because, you know, it's horse. Hilarious. But really pretty. What's a sheep drop? Shear drop? Is this supposed to be shear? Oh, that's an R. Okay. Shear drop. This is the hole in the window or the window in the wall or something like that. I feel like there's a rap song in there. Well, whatever this thing is called, it's an amazing view. And look at the water. It's so blue. And over there is Herm and that other little island that I always forget the name of. And then there's Guernsey. It's another sheep drop. Looks like some sort of crank or something. And there is a way to get down there. It's like a very steep staircase, and it seems like there's a path that goes out to that too. And that's what I was looking at on the other side of that rock. Wow. I got the water coming through that passage. I read on a sign somewhere yesterday that the current there is like 6 times stronger than anywhere else around the island because it's like getting pushed through that tiny passage. I believe it. I think it's doing the swirl thing. called Window in the Rock. The beach down there I think is Port du Moulin. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. If you're wondering, I did not take French in high school. In fact, I took Spanish. Oh, I was there in Devon. Cornwall flag on like a tractor trailer. So, you know, never that far. I think the high point is around here somewhere, and it's a whole like 300 and something feet. Maybe it's that. No, that's probably like a war memorial. I think I was starting to say this yesterday in the video, but then I got distracted by the goats, I think. But as far as I can tell, that is the privately owned isle. It's like Beku or something like that. And apparently there's a lot of controversy about it, but or about the people who own it. There's a New Yorker article from like New Yorker? Atlantic. I think it's New Yorker. From like 2012 or something that kind of talks about the controversy and like what was going on. But certainly some very rich people bought that island, and then we're trying to have kind of a lot of say in what was going on at Sark, because like it's literally just like a rock with a few buildings. So like this is the nearest like civilization, right? So but all of their efforts essentially to have control of Sark were thwarted by the locals. So they got really like angry, and it was a whole thing. And apparently at this point it's kind of a stalemate. Like one of the people that owns it like died, and then his brother, the other person that owns it, is like doesn't care or whatever. I don't know. That's what I've heard from some of the locals in the area. But it's interesting because it looks like it's connected, but it's not. Like there's that waterway that I was looking at earlier where the current is really, really strong. Well, there's a boat that's gonna go through it. Yep. See, doesn't it look like it connects from here? I'm guessing at some point it did, but not anymore. So you can see the water streaming through. Really want it to get your boat to get out from your boat up here. So I think there's that little dock right there, but it's tiny. Then it looks like there's a ladder, and then you have to like go around that little thing. Oh no, that one seems easier over there. The island is beautiful. I'm thankful to be here. And I will say one thing, the bugs are aggressive here. There's so many of them, which I'm like mystified by because it gets really windy. Like yesterday it was windy. How are they here? They're probably just so hardy, but definitely just got a bug bite. So love that for me. I even have all the bug spray on. So one got through, but we'll keep on keeping on. Or building. Different type of thatching. It's like netted in a different way. And it's like on top of shingle. Interesting. Going to the Pilcher Monument. This way. Okay, Sark ice cream. It was £5 for this thing. It's really good, but it's a little icy. I don't know if it's the way it's made or the way it's like been frozen, like how old it is, but flavor-wise, 100%. Give it like a 9.5 out of 10. Okay, the texture thing is definitely how it's made. It's like, it's starting to bother me a little more. It's like that like buttery feel in your mouth because of the cream. It's like almost too homemade for me. We might need to reassess then. It might be a 9. Final assessment. The chocolate they put on a triple chocolate ice cream, great job, 10 out of 10. But the texture, just, it's like butter in your mouth by the end of it. And I'm a big texture person, so I think we're going like 6.5 for the texture. I think it used to be a fairly natural connection point, and they've obviously reinforced it to maintain it. So you can go down to the beach here. You have to follow all those stairs down there, but it's one of the few sand beaches apparently. So pretty. If it was sunny, I would go lay out there, but it is not. So interestingly enough, the way I got introduced to Sark was because of the coupe. So I read this book story, I don't remember what it was, like years ago, and part of it took place on Sark. And in the story, they describe the coupe and they also describe the Venus pool. And that's kind of all I remember. But I remember looking it up when they were like Sark. I was like, oh, is this a real place in the Channel Islands? Because I'd heard of Jersey and Guernsey, but I've never heard of any of the other islands. So I Googled it, and sure enough, Sark and Little Sark were places that one could go. And that kind of like put it in the back of my mind of like, oh, one day I want to go to the Channel Islands. And now here I am. Hoping that I can see the Venus pool at some point before I leave. But I don't know if that's going to be today or tomorrow. More fields of cows. These are all bulls. That means they're for meat. Good luck, female cows, though. They have no fear of humans. They have discovered that when the human pets them, the flies go away for a moment. So one of them came up and started like rubbing herself against these people behind me, which was kind of hilarious. Oh, here comes another one. Oh, this one's coming to me. Hello, how are you doing? Like wildly used to humans. Kind of hilarious. I do feel bad for them. Those flies like try to attack their eyes, which is clearly why the horse owners have put those netting things over their horse's eyes to kind of help protect them from that. But God, the flies here are ridiculous. We're back in Cornwall. Look at all this old mining stuff. Okay, so it's possible it's here and the tide's just not low enough yet. It kind of looks like you can see rocks under the water there and over here too. Like if the tide was lower, it would create little pools. But it could also be further. I don't know if I need that adventure for myself though. Well, maybe I'll try to come back tomorrow during actual low tide. It's like mid-tide right now, so it's hard to tell, but it's like 1:30 and low tide was at 10 a.m. and then it's gonna be again at like 4:30 p.m. So like kind of right in the middle, but it's going down, so I don't have to worry about getting stuck out here. There's that. Is it possible? It's somewhere over here because there's clearly another path that goes down there. Who knows? I'll need to come back at low tide and actually see it. Might look up a picture first so I know what I'm looking at. But all these little like in routes and stuff. Assuming the weather is good and the tide is not too crazy, probably be nice for swimming. Entirely possible that's also it, and that gets cut off at low tide. Who knows? It's nice to know that you can see it from this little point though. I'll probably come back tomorrow and see if I can see it at actual low tide. Oversized pink Adirondack chair. Looking out over the sea. I do want a beverage. Thank you for offering. Let's go find the little snack shack. It's adorable. And he has a ball. This is what I needed. The snack shack sold me a Coke. And it's a lovely view. There's a slight bit more breeze, that would be amazing, but you know, I'll take what I have. Right, this teeny little shed is the toilet and it's like lovely inside. Highly recommend this little place. Great views. We have so much different stuff there. And here's the thing. I was expecting the prices to be ridiculous coming to the Channel Islands. And in some ways they are, like for certain things, but it's super interesting, like especially coming here, things are way cheaper than I thought they'd be, like for like mainstream products. And then for things like other things like that ice cream that I bought this morning was £5, but like at that teeny tiny shack that serves food, and they're like the only place that serves food and that's in this area. You have to go all the way back into town, which doesn't sound very far, but like there's no cars, remember? So yeah, like a little can of Coke was $1 for £1.50. So one of the things that was kind of interesting about sitting at that little shack thing was the fact that there's like 4 locals just sitting, like the person who runs the place clearly, and like a couple of other people. They're just talking and they're talking like how annoying the tourists are, and like they walk in the middle of the road and they don't pay attention and they just think the tractors are magically move for them. They don't think things through. Like, it's funny, like I'm halfway around the world from where I grew up in Hawaii, but it's the same complaints. Like, maybe not tractors in the road, but like driving on the highways and stuff like that. So, yep, that was one of them. The postman. He has a bike that says post on it, and he has like the boxes and stuff strapped to the front of his bike and back. Love it. Here for it. Way out now. Don't think I'm gonna make it around low tide to the Venus pool. Tomorrow it's gonna be, I think 4:30 is low tide, so the earliest I could get there to kind of see it in its glory is about 2:30. So we'll see, maybe, but I don't know, it feels kind of late. And then the morning one is at like, I don't know, like 4 in the morning or something, so absolutely not. Yeah, but I'm feeling more and more like renting a bike tomorrow is the path for me, because I've walked probably about 10 miles today already, and I'm still on the coupe, the Little Sark. So I have all of Big Sark to walk still. Found another sandy beach, but it seems like it's really only super beach when it's low tide. You can see the water line right there. Very little beach when the tide is up. I found that Dick's Car Valley or whatever it's called. Very forested. I take that back. This might be Dick's Cart Valley. It's hard to tell. The signs here are less than optimal. Very cool. I finally got my feet in the sea in the Channel Islands. It is very cold, so there's absolutely no way I will ever be swimming in this water, but my feet are enjoying it. I just wish I'd brought my sandals so that these rocks were less painful. Okay, well, given that this is the sky, I think that predicted rain might be coming. So, I think I'm gonna maybe save Starkhenge for tomorrow because it's pretty easy to get there off the main road. And I might just make my way back to the main road, through the village, go back to my B&B and shower and chill, and then go to dinner, probably in the rain. So that's the plan. Rocks Hotel. Interesting. Back in town. Apparently there is at least an elementary school here. I saw some small children wearing like uniforms that say Sark School on them, but that's all I know. This looks like a little souvenir shop. I might need to go. Okay, well, I've had a shower, I've had some tea, I've had a flapjack, which I'm gonna say is kind of like a very sweet, caramely granola bar. That's what it reminds me of. And now I'm gonna go to have dinner. I'm gonna try and eat at the Bon Marin, something like that. Cafe. It's like this little like restaurant in their community center. So again, I don't have a reservation, but I'm one person and showing up kind of at the beginning of dinner service, so we'll see if they can fit me in or not. And if not, I'll wander around, see if I can find someone who can. If nothing else, I can always go back to that Hatter's place. Like, they seem pretty flexible, so that's the plan. This cat has come over to me and decided we're best friends now. Look, it's like, pet me, love me. Okay, I gotta go, kitty. I'm at the community center hall, and they do a restaurant here. fish and chips was really good. Not the kind of peas I wanted, but we're just gonna live with it. And a longer from Holland, maybe? Sure. Yes. And then that's a little playing field outside. And apparently this elementary school is over there. Ice cream twice in one day. Yes, I am. Do I have regrets about this? No, I do not. Apparently it's a Guernsey ice cream. It's a little artificial, but actually really good. So I'm gonna go 9 out of 10. Okay, so I just had dinner. The food was like an 8 out of 10. It was fine, wasn't amazing. I'm pretty sure the chips were frozen, so they're a little mealy inside, but the server was lovely. She was super friendly, and you can totally tell that like this is where the locals come. So it was kind of nice just to be chill and not feel very touristic for a moment. So yeah, that is my evening. I'm just gonna walk back home to my B&B and put on some stretchy pants and lay on my bed and look out at the field. I don't think we're gonna have a sunset tonight because the sky is that. But a nice relaxing evening nonetheless. And then tomorrow I have booked in to hire a bike, so I will have one. I'm gonna go pick up it like after breakfast tomorrow, and I'll have it all day. I can either return it like right before dinner, or I can return it, like pay an extra £1 and return it the following morning before I leave. So I have to think that through, decide what I want to do. I'll probably just keep it for the day and return it before dinner though, because this place is the furthest from where I'm staying that I would probably eat at. So yeah, that's what I'm